I said to him, I was gonna sign for a boxing promotion. It would be Matchroom. I fuck with Matchroom. That Netflix doc came out. I look at Matchroom and I
Okay,
think,
okay.
Eddie, show me the money. PMV, Punching Vibes, episode 2,
Oh
baby.
yes, we're back again. We're back again.
Mm-hmm.
The first was so nice.
We had to do it
Oh
twice. Oh,
yes.
come
Oh
on.
yes. We got a pretty cool episode today, haven't we?
Yeah, it's
We're
pretty
gonna
cool.
talk a bit about Misfits boxing, some news
Mm-hmm.
going on over that way,
Yeah,
and then a bit of a game, this and that, which we'll get to know about later on. And then we're gonna talk a bit about ourselves
yeah,
because
yeah,
why not?
yeah. Fight news, stuff we got going on,
That's it, man.
stuff we
That's
got
it.
coming up, the plans, and there's actually a big debate we were having before, but that's kind of on this or that. But I want to bring it up as a conversation topic because I think it's actually something we'd talk about properly.
Sounds good.
All right, bet.
All right, let's get into it.
So boxing, they've
Yeah.
just announced. Okay, not just they announced it a while, but they've announced that Andrew Tate is going to box and he's fighting Chase Moore, who's the heavyweight champ. Now, that's a big deal, especially considering the news happened after saying they fired KSI as a CEO. KSI who started Misfits.
Yeah,
It's
he
only
did.
big because of him, and now he's like he's gone out of here. See you later. What do you think on that?
Bro, I can't believe it. Andrew Tate bought his whole company, and apparently it's because of something that was said on Twitter like a few years ago.
Really?
So the guy's got that much money that he just turned around and said, "Yeah, Misfits, I'll have that."
See, I didn't know all the news behind it, but I swear I don't know what it is. I feel like it's all storyline. Like I feel
Mm.
like this is all happening. They want Andrew Tate to beat Chase, and there's gonna be big build up. KSI is gonna come back fight Andrew Tate. That's
You know
genuinely what
what?
I
I
think that's
didn't
gonna
even
happen.
think of that. I didn't even
I
think of that genuinely.
as soon as because I said that makes no sense. And Mams and KSI are still cool. They still follow each other. Still, I've seen them like each other's shit. They're
Mm.
still doing a prime together. Why would they still be doing prime? I know it's a business thing, right? Cool. But if I was KSI, I'd be getting Mams out of there. He wouldn't still be my manager
That's
after
true.
kicking me
That's
out of
true.
Misfits, which I started. I am Misfits. Like the fuck.
That's true.
So
I mean, we love a good Misfits event, a good laugh.
yeah, nah,
Always
Misfits.
great
It's
people, great
vibes.
fighters on there.
Mhm.
And it's going to be interesting seeing what happens going forward. I hope they keep putting shows on in the UK so we can keep going to them.
Yeah, because
That'll be good.
I don't want to fly out for a
Yeah,
show.
we're not
It's
we're
just
not we're not there yet.
like we
If
said.
everybody likes and subscribes, then we can fly out. But at the minute, we're not really flying out right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah, not
No,
right now.
no. But yeah, the main fight that's happening: Andrew Tate versus Chase the Moore. What do you think about that?
I think Andrew Tate should KO him. Should beat him.
But
He should.
but Andrew Tate's been very inactive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he does training, but he hasn't fought recently. Chase the Moore has been fighting. He's basically been building himself on Misfits. He wasn't the best to start out with, but he is making progress. He's got a good coach in Gary Olive with him. You know Gary
Yeah,
personally.
guys, cool.
Gary's a cool coach, and he knows what he's talking about. I think because Chase has been active and Andrew Tate's kind of been on the shelf, I think Chase will be able to put it in his favor. Chase is the bigger guy. I'm sure he's taller as well.
Yeah, he's bigger. He's
And
bigger.
sometimes size and power make a big difference.
Okay. You've all right as a boxer, right? Let's
Yeah,
say you had to take. You got a child on the way. By the way, congrats, Jay.
he's already
Oh,
here.
his child's already here, but he's a father. Sorry, he's a father, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you had to take like 2, 3 years off because you want to raise Naya, right?
Hmm.
Do you think you're gonna come back to the sport and you would have lost the touch, like completely to the point where someone who's only been boxing for about a year, you watch someone with Chase's
Okay,
fight style.
okay. I hear what you're saying, but Andrew Tate was a kickboxer now.
No, he did boxing as well.
But he mainly did kickboxing. He was known for having so many kickboxing fights and being a world kickboxing
But he did
champion.
look at someone like Adesanya as well in MMA. He was a kickboxing
Okay,
guy.
but
Was very good at
but his
boxing.
background, Tate's background, is kickboxing. He is a kickboxer, and sparring kickboxers, like shout out Cameron, by the way, Cameron Bruce Lee.
Mhm.
Sparring kickboxers, they just don't have that same style as boxers. Not saying Chase is a world class level boxer, but naturally, kickboxers tend to be a bit more open, and the guard just doesn't correlate well when it comes to going over to boxing.
I still think it's someone that does kickboxing can be more adaptable to picking it up, especially when they know they're only isolating one skill set. Like, look at MVP. I don't think MVP goes into a boxing fight and looks worse than he does when he does MMA. Arguably, he's more limited doing MMA because people are gonna wrestle him. He
It's a
goes into
hot take.
boxing, he's still gonna hop around the same. Even he can adapt it better to boxing, and I think that's what Tate's gonna do. He's gonna adapt his style to boxing, something he can do as he has the experience. He knows how to go in there, deal with it better, and he doesn't give an F. Like, win or lose, he actually doesn't care. Chase, we know Chase, like, from seeing him around at the events and stuff. Pretty sure Gary was telling me, we know how Chase is. Chase only comes for like the last 2 weeks, the events start training with Gary, realistically. Like, he's not like he's there the whole camp. I remember speaking to Gary.
Oh,
He said, yeah,
you mean because he's from the US,
yeah,
so
because he's
naturally
from the
he's a bit
US,
away. Yeah,
so he's
yeah,
not
yeah.
like fully training with Gary. Like, Gary is overseeing. That's his main coach, but it's not his main coach.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
If you had
That
a
can
full
definitely have an
camp,
impact.
you know what I mean? Like, if you had a full camp with Gary, who's gonna fully overlook everything and say, okay, this is the best way we're gonna beat him, because Gary knows what he's on about. He's a great trainer, but he's not with them for the whole duration of
But
camp.
to be fair though, that's talking about previous fights. We don't know if Gary's with Chase for this whole camp.
True.
He might be because it's a big fight. It is a money fight. You're fighting Andrew Tate. He's absolutely massive on the internet. Like, so he could be with him right now. We don't actually know.
He could be, but then he's still got to get used to training him fully as well now, because that's the thing. When you've never had a full camp with someone, now you switch to having a full camp. It's like switching teams.
Yeah.
You switch to a completely different coach. That's essentially what he's doing, because he's been in the US every time. He's just come over and basically had Gary hold some pads for him, coach him into being ready for the fight. Boom.
Have you got a prediction for it?
I think Tate wins.
How?
I think Tate wins. How many rounds is it?
I don't know.
Can you check real quick how many rounds it is? Because that would be a key factor in my prediction. Because more likely than not, I do see Andrew Tate getting a KO.
I think he'll go a distance.
You think he'll go
I'll
a
just
distance?
say straight off.
But that
I
depends
think
on the
he'll go a
rounds.
distance.
Okay, so it is planned for 5 3-minute rounds.
5.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it out there. It's going the distance.
Yeah.
I think Chase the Moore might nick it just because Andrew Tate's output doesn't seem to be that much. Not that Chase the Moore's is, but he's a bigger, heavier guy. I think Chase the Moore will take it.
I'm going Andrew Tate decision. I don't think 5 is enough to knock him out. For how long he's been out, Chase is a heavier guy. I think he'll get the decision. He's got more IQ, so he'll fight smarter. And 3 minutes is, it's a long time.
It is
when you're inside there. It's a long time, and it's gonna drag. I feel like Chase is gonna get fatigued from the event, the magnitude. It's gonna drain him partially. So the more pressure's on him. He feels like it's not, but really it is. You're the champ, and no one expects you to win. Which in his head is probably gonna put more pressure on him because you need to perform now. Like, under these lights, it's gonna be the most eyes he's ever had on him for an event, because now Top G is here. And it's Top G, bro.
Don't you think that Andrew Tate would want to fight someone that he knows he can win? Because why would he want to lose his first fight?
But he must see something in Chase that makes him believe that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, he's not the most experienced fighter. Andrew Tate's had over 50 fights. Chase has had, not sure how many, but not that many, maybe 10 or just above, just under.
To be honest, Chase just has the belt. I think it's genuinely just a case of, it makes sense because he has the belt. It's a heavyweight belt, but he's not a good heavyweight fighter. If it was someone that's more skilled as a heavyweight, Andrew's probably thinking, let me go do something less, like cruiserweight, light heavy. He's not going to fight Darren Till. Dangerous.
Well, at the end of the day, it could all be part of a bigger picture. Who knows? Maybe KSI will come out the woodwork, and fight Andrew Tate. He's been away for a while now.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to see KSI in the ring. The KSI event's always a good event, so we'll see what happens. And if that does happen in the future and Andrew Tate and KSI do fight, hopefully it's in the UK so we can go watch it.
Yeah.
I think it would be.
Even, you know what? Even if they did it in Dubai, I'd go to Dubai. I love it out in Dubai.
This guy's got money. Oh.
Me and Jay were having this discussion like a while ago. And
I don't know what discussion this is.
He doesn't know what it's all
about. This is fresh for me. Genuine reaction, let's see.
Because I said to him, I was gonna sign for a boxing promotion. It would be Matchroom. I fuck with Matchroom. That Netflix doc came out. I look at Matchroom and I
Okay,
think,
okay.
Eddie, show me the money. Do you know what I mean? But you
Okay.
had a different option.
Yeah,
And what
yeah,
was
yeah.
yours?
Boxing promoters, man. Nobody likes them. Nobody likes any promoter. Well, to an extent, to an extent. Uh, my promoter would have to be Boxer. I like Boxer. I'm a fan of Boxer. It just sounds nice. It looks nice, and I like their roster. Eubank Junior's on there. One of my favorite fighters. Boxer's the way I'd go.
What do you think, Amrit? Let me just ask you as well. What promotion do you think?
I think he has a crush on Eubank for starters.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
he must
kidding.
be. He must be.
I don't know too much about it. I think you should put like relationships and friendships aside. Whatever's gonna help you excel is a promotion you should go for. I think you should leave feelings aside.
But not only
Okay.
that, though, you hear a lot about promoters using fighters and things like that. And just from my personal experience, it just seems like Boxer seems like the most genuine promotion. I feel like they'd actually look after you a bit more. I feel like they'd give you a bit more attention, if that makes sense.
You know, I do still get the family vibe from Matchroom too. Matchroom is big, but I still get that sense of like they're taking care of you. They're gonna make sure you're taken care of. You know what I mean? It's just that they've got different, pardon me, different departments, but something that big, you have to micromanage. You can't possibly expect to be successful and big if you haven't got someone else running certain areas for you. Like, you can't do it. You're the CEO of Apple. Someone complains about their iPhone, and they live in freaking South Africa. You can't fly to South Africa to deal with that complaint.
That's a fair. You know what?
When
That is a
everyone's
fair
gonna
point.
complain, do you know what I mean? You
That's a
got
fair
to
point.
micromanage, but it doesn't mean you care less. Like Eddie doesn't mean he cares less just because Frank is gonna talk to someone. Frank is the CEO. He's still gonna handle business. Do you know what I mean? I think that's his name. I hope I got the name.
You know what? I will say, having that conversation now, that is a very fair point.
That's a fair point.
But I still choose Boxer.
Yeah, you can still go with Boxer.
But it
there's loads.
does make you think a bit more about different promotions and things you hear and whatever.
But you look at it, there's loads, man. Misfits gets people on. That's like with the Silent Brothers and stuff. But Misfits is starting to promote a lot of pros as well.
Yeah, they do Misfits Pro.
That's a promotion that exists. Queensbury is good, but I don't know much on how they treat their fighters. But I just look at promotions and I look at the fighters that have left and look for better. You say you like Boxer, but one of their biggest stars, Ben Whitaker, came over to Matchroom. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's tricky.
Don't get me wrong.
You've got MVP, Jake Paul's promotion, which is big, but if you sign for them, they're mainly focused on like women's boxing.
Money talks at the end of the day. Money does talk, but you've also got to remember, not everyone's going to be big time. Not everyone's going to be absolutely massive.
Yeah.
So think of a regular fighter wanting to switch over to Matchroom. Yeah, they could probably make it happen. But the main reason that switch has happened is because Ben Whitaker is massive. He's huge. Everybody wants him. So, I get what you're saying, but not everybody's going to make it that high. So I'm thinking just for general boxers that probably won't become these massive stars, that's just what I'm thinking about.
Okay, I hear it. I do hear it.
So last episode we did facts or cap, where we'd say something's facts, something's cap. We discussed why we put it. Today we're doing this or that. So I don't know.
Kind of like a would you rather.
Yeah, chicken or burger. Which one you picking and why? And that's what it's gonna be.
Wait.
What?
You said chicken or burger.
Chicken or burger?
Chicken or beef, you mean?
Yeah.
Chicken or burger? Are you having fried chicken, or are you gonna have a nice beef burger?
But you could have a chicken burger.
Yeah.
Okay, it's chicken or burger.
But
I'm not having this. No, it's chicken or burger. But it doesn't need to be complicated. Chicken or burger.
I didn't just say chicken or beef.
Innit?
Yeah, it does.
Cameraman.
First, this or that is Southpaw or Orthodox. Both have advantages. But which one would you?
Do you mean what would you rather come up against, or what would you rather be?
I would say both. Come up against and what would you rather be?
I'll put an answer down for both. Okay,
so if you could magically become Orthodox or Southpaw, would you do that? Would you want that to happen?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one simple. You want me to start?
Yes, please.
As an orthodox myself, or as Ben Hopkins would say, orthodontist, man like, I'm picking orthodox, and it's a very simple reason. I don't like southpaws. I don't like sparring them. I don't like practicing southpaw. Southpaws are just a nightmare. So if I've got to choose between the two, I'm picking orthodox all day long. Put me in with an orthodox fighter. I will spar you for 12 rounds. I am happy. Put me in with a southpaw. I'll still spar you for 12 rounds, but I'm gonna cry. So yeah, for me, orthodox.
Hold on, I gotta switch this. Oh no!
He's heard me. He's been
Oh,
listening to me,
no.
and now he's regretting everything he's put.
No,
I don't know what he's gonna say.
Look, right. In terms of what I'd rather be a southpaw, but I'd rather face, like, as myself right now, I'd rather face an orthodox guy, and that's purely because the annoying thing that comes with southpaw is such a great advantage for when you are a southpaw that pisses off everyone. That's why there's people that strictly game plan on what to do when you face a southpaw. Do you know what I mean? It's always looked at as a problem. You've got that option, you're cooking people, bro. It's long. If you know how to really be a good southpaw, you can cook a lot of people.
The world's great.
The majority of the world is
Yeah.
orthodox fighters. But that's why I'd rather face an orthodox guy.
But at the same
'Cause I know what I'm
time,
doing. I'm comfortable.
at the same time, the world's greats right now are southpaws. Usyk, southpaw, top of the game. Moses Utama, southpaw. He is literally wiping everybody out. So
yeah, that's why I'd
You know,
rather be
I
a
hear it,
southpaw.
I hear
You know
it,
what
I
I mean?
hear
Like,
Cool.
they've got something about them that just makes them so hard to face. And like dealing with, okay, the first time I ever lost in amateur MMA was to a southpaw, and it was like it's a completely different type of fight when you have to face him because you have sparred southpaws, but when you're in the fight and you've got to deal with everything, you got the adrenaline and you're in fight mode. You're not constantly thinking about let me get my foot on the outside or what I can do, he can do to me too. Like you're not thinking about those things. Whereas they train that every day. Like they're used to that because they come up against orthodox almost all the time. They're constantly training against us to beat us.
So if anything, there's less of an excuse for a southpaw to lose to an orthodox.
Yeah. But I see. Okay, I don't know why I'm contradicting, but I know I said it's hard. But I think once you know what it's like to face a southpaw, it's actually quite simple to beat a southpaw.
Don't get me wrong. I feel a lot more comfortable now fighting southpaws, foot on the outside. You know, using my right hand as well.
Yeah.
You know, all that sort of stuff. But figuring it out does take a while. It is graft.
Yeah.
It is graft.
It is. But once you know it, boom, you're set. Like now, in MMA terms, I'm facing a southpaw, right? It's a lot easier for me to get a wrestling takedown because his leg is right there. If I want to grab it, I'm there. If that's my primary style, boom, I'm set. If I want to throw kicks, his body's open. Yeah, he can throw kicks too, but his body's right there for me, and it's open in a slant where I can slam that shit in. You know what I mean? Like, there's advantages to being a southpaw, but those advantages are there for me too. That's something people don't realize. He can land that straight left. I can land a straight right. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
The jab is not a great option for me. It's not a great option for him either because we're right there. So people don't reverse it. They like to just look at what they can do. What about what I can do? I can do the exact same thing. It's like a mirror. That's a good way of looking at it. That's what my coach said.
That's a fair point, yeah. Cool.
Next is white collar or amateur.
Okay.
White collar or amateur.
Damn.
Story of my life.
I'm assuming this is strictly for boxing because in MMA terms, it
doesn't make sense.
It's night and day. There's white collar MMA, but it's night and day.
Yeah.
Between that. So
we'll say boxing.
Yeah. So if I wrote it is an A, but white collar, I'm gonna say I'd rather do white collar. As a boxer, right? Obviously, people like to go the amateur route and they like to get the experience, go to the Olympics and stuff. But in my opinion, doing white collar boxing with the right shows, the right promoters, gives you an actual feel of what a fight is. And a lot of the time, you'll come up against guys in white collar boxing that have actually fought pro, and they're just coming back. They want to do another run, just fight, live it under the lights again and shit. you're not gonna face that experience in amateur. You're gonna face people that are learning on the job just like you. You know, there might be higher level amateurs, but they could go to pro and do ass. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's loads of people like that. So I'd rather have white collar.
You know what? That's a very fair point. But I'll put amateur. Reason being, white collar is great, but I feel like white collar is more so for someone who just wants to try it out. You know what I mean? Someone who wants to get a feel of what boxing is like. If you want to go pro and you want to become somebody, amateur seems to be the way to go. But myself, being a white collar fighter before, I fought white collar, and it's great. You have the ring walks, you've got the crowd, you've got the energy. It's great, and I've learned and I've developed so much from that.
Mm-hmm.
But going forward, I wanting to take that next step and go higher, and potentially be a world champ.
Yeah.
Amateur routes where it's at. Promoters, who are they going to want? The amateur guy who's had 40 amateurs, or the white collar guy who's had 40 white collars?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You know what? Purely on the standpoint of like wanting to go pro and like, yeah, you want to get signed, they're gonna look at amateur boxers because that's where the pedigree is. That's where people will be like they built up their hype. But in terms of like, I think genuine experience, you get better experience from white collar.
See, that I
I
have to
genuinely
disagree
think that.
with. Don't get me wrong. If you've got the right team, okay, this is very important.
Mhm.
If you've got the right team, the right coach, and the right mindset, yes, white collar is great. You can get really good experience. But a lot of white collar fighting, people like to pick and choose their fights and who they go up against. There's a lot of journeymen in white collar. Don't get me wrong, journeymen in pros as well.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of people who are just getting in there for a laugh. If you want to take this seriously, yes, you can do the white collar route. But if you really want that recognition and give yourself the best shot, I find that amateurs is better because it's a higher level, it's a quicker pace, and the IQ is just completely different. Amateur IQ is very, very different to white collar IQ. Don't get me wrong, some amateurs do struggle when they then turn over to pro because it is a bit tippy tappy. But I don't know, my perspective for myself is because I've done white collar, which has that bit more of a pro style. I can then use that in the amateurs to adjust my style, if you know what I mean, if that makes sense.
Amateur boxers, when I think of amateur boxers, especially the ones I spot, it's tip tap, get out the way. Boom. Pa, pa, pa. Canelo's not doing that. Canelo's coming at you and he's laying bombs on you, bro. He's trying to knock you out. That's why Crawford's style, you could say suited an amateur boxer type of style, where he got out the way, boom, boom, to beat Canelo. But you see, like, Crawford's been in there with all sorts of people, so the intensity didn't get to him. The intensity of facing Canelo, if you've only spotted amateur boxers, they won't do what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? So you won't get.
I guess it's kind of like a 50-50 area, isn't it?
50, yeah. Like, you can have either or. That's why we have this and that. This and that, baby.
But aren't there more white collar boxers as well than amateurs?
Yeah.
Because think about it. I don't know. I could be wrong, but on amateurs usually you like start when you're younger, so you're 14, 15, 16, and you basically are supported a lot in your early stages of your boxing
It's
career.
developmental, whereas like some white collar guys are ex-pros that have like fought.
The reason there's more white collar fighters is because more people just want to have a go. Not everybody wants to take it fully serious, which is amateurs. You need to take it fully serious. Some people just want to train for a few weeks and jump in there, and that essentially is mostly what white collar boxing is.
Yeah, but there's also so many amateurs in the world, bro, and look how you end up doing something crazy in the sport. You know what I mean? So
it's true.
It's either or, like you said.
The next one, lads, is a jab or backhand. Now, let's just say, would you rather get hit with a jab or a backhand?
Or would you rather throw a jab or a backhand?
Or let's say, would you be limited to?
Yes.
Would you be limited to a jab or a backhand?
Jab. My favorite punch, the most important punch in boxing. If I had to be limited to a right hand jab all day long, jab's amazing. If you're a smaller fighter, double jab, get yourself close in. If you're a taller fighter, long, snappy jab, keep yourself away. It's a no-brainer.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It is a brainer. It is a brainer for me, and it's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be the right hand.
This guy just wants to knock everyone out.
No, listen. Yes, I do. No one cares about you if you're just jabbing all the time. Everyone hates it. It's boring. Like, The boring stuff wins fights, yes, but so is knocking people out. You knock someone out, there's no discussion, there's no judges that can screw you over.
Yeah.
If I had to be stuck with a right hand that is going to knock you out, let's say it's going to guaranteed knock you out, or I've got a left hand jab, never get tired, and I can use it all day, and I'm limited to one or the other, I'll limit myself to the right hand. If I can fight smart, wait for the opening to boom, 12 rounds. Let's say boxing, 12 rounds of boxing. For me to land that one boom, I'm going to land it once. And you're going
However,
to go to sleep. If it's a KO kind of.
however, if it's not a scenario where it's okay, restricted. Well, to be fair, even if you are restricted to just a jab, you can just keep them at bay anyway. But if it's not a scenario where you're restricted and it's just which punch you prefer, the jab's the king all day long, because the jab is what sets you up for that right hand. You know, it's what gives you them openings. You don't go out into a fight and then immediately go, whoa. You go out, you jab, you feel. Even in MMA, I know you guys do that too.
Look, you know what makes the jab so effective? The threat of the right hand. If a right hand's never coming, the threat don't exist. So I'm not gonna care about your jab. I'm gonna do whatever I want because I know the right hand's not coming to knock me out. Do you know what I mean? Because the jab, it's rare. Okay, I've only ever seen one in MMA, Kamaru Usman dropping Gilbert Burns with the jab. That's the only thing I can think of, and it was a shocking sight. But no one's gonna knock you out really all the time with the jab.
Naturally, when we talk about the jab, though, we know that's not a knockout punch. But if you want to win a fight, if you want to take the least amount of damage, if you want to set something nice up that's going to produce the amount of damage, jab is the king.
I hear it. But I can also just feint it. Feint the jab, boom! Crack him with the right hand. So I don't know. That's enough.
You know what? I say we leave this one to the viewers.
Okay,
Comment down below what you think's worse. Or no, sorry, what?
Neutral.
Yeah. You can be neutral. But comment down below what you guys think. Jab or right hand? What one are you picking? And there it is.
So man, another segment done. Thank you guys for tuning in to PNV again. PunchNVibes.
Yeah. That's it.
Get punched, have some vibes.
That's it. We get punched at the end of the day, and then we come here, sit down, and have vibes. It's good. Yeah, so let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and get out all our socials. PunchNVibes. It's on Insta. It's on TikTok. It's on YouTube. And
we'll have our own personal socials on the screens underneath.
Yeah, there and there.
Over us.
PunchNVibes.